we were doing probability, and in the probability, we have seen not many events. Then we have seen some of the properties, some of the results, and then after that, we have seen what we call it as the union properties, that is the additive law, right? So when I started the definitions, we have done something called independent event. And right, so independent events, right? So basically I gave you one example कि suppose दो लोग interview में जाते हैं, and if I ask you that what is the probability that both of them will give the same answer, right? Or both of them will give the correct answer, right? So ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर A, suppose one person is A and another person is B, so obviously there is equal chance कि दोनों ही सही आंसर दे दे, or there is a probability that A will give the right answer, B will give the wrong answer, or A will give the wrong answer, B will give the right answer, right? Or both gives the wrong answer, right? So anything can happen. So ऐसा नहीं है कि एक के कारण दूसरे पे कोई restriction लग रही है. Say I ask you what is the probability that what kind of events are there that today I will take the class and Anand ma'am will also take the class. So anything can happen. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर मैं क्लास नहीं लेती तो आनंद मैम क्लास नहीं लेते, या अगर आनंद मैम क्लास नहीं लेते तो मैं क्लास नहीं लेती, right? So these kind of events which are not dependent on each other, right, where the happening of one event does not affect the happening of other event, right, those events are basically known as independent events. Right, so this we have already discussed. So independent means they do not affect each other. They are actually they are not actually affected by, so ऐसा नहीं है कि occurrence of one event will not let other event occur or vice versa. So obviously moment we heard independent, so there is another word which comes to the mind, that is dependent. So obviously अगर कुछ events independent हैं तो obviously कुछ events dependent भी होंगे, right? So say suppose I say you roll a dice, right? What is the probability that you get a multiple of 6 provided the numbers are even? So basically what I'm saying what is the probability that you will get multiple of 6 provided the numbers are even. तो इसका मतलब पहले आपने डाइस रोल किया, so provided the number is even, so 2 4 6, so अब वहां से आप क्या चाहते हो, you want multiple of 6, so you see this is 6. So पहले मैं चाहती हूँ कि मेरा नंबर even हो, right, and then I want that number should be a multiple of 6. Or let me ask you another way, what is the probability that a number is prime provided the number is odd? So if you see prime number, तो जब आप rolling the dice करते हो तो prime number तो 2 भी हो सकता है, 3 भी हो सकता है, 5 भी हो सकता है, but मैंने क्या बोल दिया आपको कि number should be odd. तो odd के केस में जो prime numbers हैं वो कौन से हैं, 3 and 5. So you see there is a dependency now. So now I am saying, right, that it should be odd, then it should be prime. Again if I say I have piece of cards, आपको मैंने कार्ड दे दिया, ताश के पत्ते दे दिए, and I say that what is the probability that you get a king provided it is of black color. So again now अब जो मुझे king चाहिए वो black color का ही चाहिए. So there is a dependency which is coming in place now. So these kind of probabilities, right, these kind of probabilities comes in the category of what is known as conditional probability. तो conditional probability में आपके पास dependency picture में आ जाती है. So we have dependency in picture. So conditional probability, the notation is written as probability of A mod B. So this line means mod, right? So probability of A mod B. So how this statement is read? The statement is read as this is probability of occurrence of event A. So this is the probability of occurrence of event A such that event B has already occurred or event B has already happened. Say suppose अभी जैसे हमने ऊपर किया, what is the probability? So what is the probability of getting prime number on dice provided it is odd? सो हियर इफ यू सी, आपको क्या चाहिए, आपको प्राइम नंबर चाहिए, बट वो ऑलरेडी ऑड हो. सो इन दिस केस, सो प्रोबेबिलिटी के जब भी क्वेश्चंस करते हैं, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट we should identify while attempting the probability questions, we should identify what are my cases. So here in this case, A is what? Getting prime number. And B is what? Getting odd number. So what you have to find? You have to find probability of A mod. So you have to find probability of A mod B, right? So if you see A mod B, so means आपके पास ऑलरेडी ऑड नंबर डाइस पे आ चुका है, एंड आपको क्या निकालना है, आपको उसमें से निकालना है द नंबर A such that A is prime. So already B has happened, odd number आ गया है, उन odd numbers में से आपको prime number ढूंढना है. So this is conditional probability. So here if you see, I have just written one example. So let a random experiment be of drawing a card from a pack of cards, right? Okay, before I do this question, right, although you all know this, so we know in a pack of cards, there are 52 cards. 4 suits are there. So 4 suits means 4 types of cards are there, right? King. Sorry. Not the king. So 4 suits are heart, right? Spade. Spade is जिसको आप हुक्म भी बोलते हो. Then club, जिसको हम चिड़ी बोलते हैं, right? And then diamond. So you see 14 cards of heart, 14 cards of spade, 14 cards of club, and 14 cards of diamond. So if you see total 52 cards. Again, there are 4 kings. So kings means K. Again, one king of each suit. 1 king of each suit. Then 4 spade. I should not write spade here. So 4 kings and 4 queens. Then 4 jack. So jack means the joker. And 4 ace. So ace means ikka. So each color, one, these are picture cards. So 1 picture card of each color, right? So now what is the question? So we have drawn a card, then the probability of having event A. So here, what is event A? The card drawn is a king. So now here, if you see, for these kind of questions, we simply use the definition of probability, favorable event over total events. So A is the event that you get a king. So हमें पता है टोटल पत्ते कितने होते हैं 52. 52 में से कितने किंग्स होते हैं? 4 किंग्स होते हैं. मुझे कोई पर्टिकुलर कलर नहीं बोला इसने. So any king can come. So you see this is 1/13. Right? So this is simple question, right? Now suppose alternatively you are asked that you draw a red card. Now you have drawn a red card. What is the probability that it is a king? So already पहले आपने red card draw कर लिया है. So now here B is what? B is the event. So this is not, अभी मैंने probability नहीं बोला. So B is event of drawing red card. So now his question is, B has already happened. आपने red card already draw कर लिया है. What is the probability that it is king? Right? So if you see from here, अगर मैं देखूं तो red card आपने draw कर लिया है. तो red card कितने होते हैं? Red card is 13. रेड कार्ड कितने होते हैं? 13. अब 13 में से ऑलरेडी आपको क्या चाहिए? 13 में से आपको किंग चाहिए, और हमें पता है रेड कार्ड के 2 किंग्स होते हैं. एक किंग होता है डायमंड का, एक किंग होता है हार्ट का. सो यू सी दिस इज 2/13, राइट? तो अगर मैं इसको अब लिखूं, सो यू सी मैथमेटिकली दिस कैन बी रिटन एज व्हाट? 2/13 52 over 13/52। तो अगर अब आप देखो, अगर मैं डिनोमिनेटर की बात करूं, डिनोमिनेटर इज 13/52। सो इफ यू सी दिस इज नथिंग बट व्हाट, probability of drawing a red card, because red card कितने होते हैं 13, टोटल कार्ड्स कितने होते हैं 15, सो 13/52 दिस इज probability of drawing a red card। अब अगर आप न्यूमिनेटर देखो 2/52, राइट, तो इफ यू सी दिस इज नथिंग बट व्हाट, दिस इज नथिंग बट रेड कार्ड, दिस इज नथिंग बट व्हाट, रेड कार्ड्स में किंग्स कितने हैं, सो बेसिकली इफ यू सी दिस इज नथिंग बट रेड कार्ड and a king, so you see intersection, so it is a red card and it is a king, so intersection, so you see this is nothing but probability of A intersection over probability of B, right? So from here I will conclude, right? So from here, what we get, right? So this is the formula, probability of A mod B is what, probability of A intersection B over probability of B. So similarly, you could have other way around also, probability of B mod A. So probability of B mod A. So this will be what? जो नीचे है वो उसकी probability अकेली आ जाएगी, probability of A, ऊपर क्या आ जाएगा, दोनों की intersection आ जाएगी। अच्छा, यहां से एक चीज और आ रही है, अगर आप देखो probability of A intersection B, अगर मैं ऊपर वाली इक्वेशन से वैल्यू निकालूं, so what is the probability of A intersection B? Probability of A mod B into probability of B. So जो नीचे है उसकी probability से multiply, and again अगर मैं second equation को use करूं तो probability of A intersection B, so this is same as probability of B mod A. So ये हमने पहला हम रिलेशन हमने इसको यहाँ भेज के निकाला, दूसरा रिलेशन हमने यहाँ से। So these are another definitions of A intersection B. Primarily you should just remember this definition. So probability of A mod B is what? Probability of A intersection B over probability of B, right? So this is what I have written here. And if you see जो मैंने second property आपसे discuss करी है, right? So that property is known as multiplication theorem of probability, right? So for any two events A and B, so probability of A intersection B को हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? Probability of A into probability of B mod A. And नीचे obviously probability of A should be greater than 0, it should not be equal to 0, because probability of B mod A में probability of A नीचे आएगा, तो denominator cannot be 0. Again अगर मैं दूसरा relation use करूं, so this is probability of B into probability of A mod B, right? Again proof wise this is very easy, so you see, let us see the proof, right? So probability of A हमें पता क्या होती है, number of favorable events, so n upon n, number of events in which are in favor of A over total events, so number of events in the sample space S, right? So again what is probability of B? So this is NB, so number of events in favor of B, and NS, number of events in sample space S. Again what is probability of A intersection B? So this is N A intersection B over NS. अब by definition हमें पता है what is probability of A mod B. Probability of A mod B क्या होता है? So this is obviously पहले नीचे जो B के cases हैं, so N B over number of the events in their intersection, right? So finally probability of A intersection B को हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? Probability of A intersection B को हम लिख सकते हैं, so this is what, N of A intersection B over N of S. हमने क्या किया, N of B और N of B से multiply और divide कर दिया इस चीज को, N of B और N of S, N of B से multiply कर दिया, N of B से divide कर दिया. So what is this first case? This is nothing but probability of A mod B, and what is this? This is probability of B. Just now भी मैंने जो पहले discuss किया था, so you see this is probability of A intersection B is probability of A mod B into probability of B. Similarly the second case will follow. So the second result which we are going to do is that the probability of A intersection B is always less than or equal to probability of A. So now if you see, अगर हम set theory में जाएं, right? So this is my set A and this is my set B, and we know A intersection B. A intersection B is the common portion. This portion is A intersection B, and obviously A intersection B is the part of A. So this is subset. A intersection B is also a subset of B. तो हमें पता है कि जब intersection is a subset, तो ऑब्वियसली नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स इसमें ए इंटरसेक्शन बी में या तो ए से कम होंगे या ए से ज्यादा, ए के इक्वल होंगे, ए से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकते, राइट? सो इफ यू सी, सो द नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स इन ए इंटरसेक्शन बी is always less than or equal to number of elements in A. Similarly, number of elements in B is always less than or equal to number of elements in the sample space, because sample space is what? Sample space is a total set and B is just a part of the sample space. तो अगर मैं दोनों इक्वेशंस को डिवाइड कर दूं तो मेरे पास क्या आ जाएगा? Number of elements in A intersection B over number of elements in B is less than or equal to number of elements in A over number of elements in S. So from here, what do you get? What do you get? This is what? This is probability of A mod B, and this is what? This is probability of A. So probability of A mod B is less than or equal to probability of A, right? So from here, we get some mathematical result of independent events also. So independent events means what? They are not affected by each other. So probability of A mod B. So this is what? This is probability of occurrence of A such that B has already occurred. So obviously, अगर ये दोनों independent हैं, then in that case, what will happen? They will not affect each other. So ऐसा नहीं है कि A mod B means there will be some effect of occurrence of A on the occurrence of B, or of occurrence of B on occurrence of A. So in this case, what will happen? That the probability of A mod B will be same as probability of A. Means A का होना B के होने ना होने से इफेक्ट नहीं होगा. So चाहे आप A mod B निकालो, चाहे आप probability of A निकालो, so both will be same. Right? So probability of A mod B is same as probability of A. अगर ऐसा हो जाए, then my two events are independent events. Right? So if A is independent of B, then obviously B is also independent of A. Right? And so proof wise, right? Since A is independent of B, तो हमें पता है by definition क्या हो जाएगा? Probability of A mod B will be same as probability of A. Right? अब हमें पता है probability of A mod B कितना होता है? This is probability of A intersection B over probability of B. So this is equal to probability of A. मैंने क्या किया? Probability of A को हम नीचे ले आए, probability of B को हम ऊपर ले गए, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया. So what will happen? So what we get? So इधर क्या बन गया? Probability of A intersection B over probability of A is equal to probability of B. So what is this? This is probability of B mod A intersection B over probability of A. So this is probability of B mod A and this is probability of B. So again, probability of B mod A is same as probability of B. So अगर A B के independent है तो B भी A के independent होगा. Right? So you see, so from here, one thing is, so I'm giving you one new definition of independent events. Right? So just now we have seen if A and B are independent, if A and B are independent, so A and B are independent. So what we have? We have probability of A mod B is same as the probability of A. But अभी हमने definition लगाई थी. What is probability of A mod B? This is probability of A intersection B over probability of B. So this is probability of A. So from here, what do you get? Probability of A intersection B is same as probability of A into probability of B. So you see, this is the definition of independent events. So for independent events, probability of A intersection B is same as probability of A into probability of B. Right? So two events A and B are independent if and only if their probability of intersection is same as the product of their respective probabilities. ये आगे लिखा होगा. Right? So इससे पहले there are small properties. A and empty set is independent. So you see, what is probability of A intersection phi? What is probability of A intersection phi? So we know A intersection empty set will be empty. So this is probability of phi. Again, probability of phi is what? 0. And similarly, what is probability of A into probability of phi? Again, probability of phi is 0. So this product is 0. So from here, what you get? probability of A intersection phi is equal to probability of A into probability of phi. So you see, by this definition, probability, if probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B, then the events are independent. Similarly, what is probability of A intersection S? So अगर मैं A की intersection sample space के साथ लूंगी तो मुझे A मिल जाएगा. So this is probability of A. Right, again this is same as what, probability of A into probability of S, because probability of sample space is 1. So you see, probability of A intersection S is same as probability of A into probability of S. So it means intersection of any, I mean any event A and the sample space, they are all independent, right? So we have the multiplication theorem for the independent events जो मैंने आपको अभी बताई, right? So if A and B are two events with positive probabilities, then A and B are independent if and only if probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B, right? So अगर event independent नहीं है, अगर event independent नहीं है, so this is just I have written generalized result. If any two events, so if there are any n events and they are not independent, then A1 intersection A2 intersection so on up to AN. So this will be what? हमें पता है probability of A intersection B in generally क्या होती है? This is probability of A into probability of B mod A. Right? So you see, this will be what? So in general, this will be what? So this will be what? So this will be probability of A1. So पहले probability A1 होगा. So हमें क्या चाहिए? By उसी से by you can just see this with the intuition only. So आपको A1, A2, A3, AN सारे events चाहिए, तो उनकी intersection चाहिए. तो obviously start तो किसी एक event से होगा. So what will happen? पहले एक A1 हो जाएगा. So probability of A1. फिर आप A2 करोगे. So obviously क्या हो जाएगा? A2 such that A1 has already occurred. Right? फिर क्या हो जाएगा? इसको मैं नीचे लिख रही हूँ. अब A3 होगा. अब A3 कब होगा? जब A1 और A2 दोनों हो चुके हैं, राइट? सिमिलरली क्या हो जाएगा? A4 होगा. A4 कब होगा? जब A1, A2, A3 तीनों हो चुके हैं, एंड सो ऑन. लास्ट में क्या आ जाएगा? दिस इज प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ AN, और AN कब होगा? जब A1 भी हो गया, A2 भी हो गया, सो ऑन, AN माइनस 1 भी. राइट? सो बट इन जनरल अगर मेरे इवेंट्स इंडिपेंडेंट हैं तो क्या हो जाएगा? ऑब्वियसली A2 मॉड A1 भी A2 हो जाएगा, A3 मॉड A1 इंटरसेक्शन A2 भी A3 हो जाएगा, न्यूमरेटर बन जाएंगे. A4 मॉड A1 A2 A3 इंटरसेक्शन A4 बन जाएगा. So you see, probability of A1 intersection A2 intersection AN, this is same as probability of A1, probability of A2, so on up to probability of AN, right? So you see, question point of view, I just want to give you one hint, right? जैसे एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन जनरली यहाँ से बड़े अच्छे बनते हैं. Say I ask you, there are two persons A and B. So the probability that A solves the questions is say 1/3, and probability that B solves the question is say 1/4. So what is the probability? So if A and B solves क्वेश्चन साइमल्टेनियसली, मतलब दोनों को मैंने एक क्वेश्चन साथ में करने को दे दिया, व्हाट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट द क्वेश्चन इज सॉल्व्ड? So let me read the statement again. Probability that A solves question is 1/3. Probability that B solves the question is 1/4. If A and B solves the question simultaneously, what is the probability that the question is solved? Right? So probability में सबसे पहले आप event करते हो. So let E be the event such that the question is solved. अब देखो, what is probability of E? अब A और B दोनों इकट्ठे बैठ के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे हैं। सो ऑब्वियसली क्या क्या हो सकता है? Ideally what I should have defined the events. I should have let E is the event such that the question is solved. Let E1 is the event. A solves the question and E2 is the event that B solves the question. So you see, मुझे क्या चाहिए? Probability that the question is solved. So क्या हो सकता है? A ने भी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर दिया और B ने भी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर दिया। मुझे ये तो नहीं कहा कि दोनों में से कोई एक ही क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करे। सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, क्वेश्चन इज सॉल्व्ड। सो ए और बी दोनों ने सॉल्व कर दिया। या फिर देखो, अगर आपको याद हो, या मतलब जब आपने टोटल निकालना होता है दैट इज यूनियन, ए यूनियन बी। सो आइदर ए और बी, इंटरसेक्शन मींस बोथ ए एंड बोथ बी। तो जब मैं यूनियन की बात कर रही हूं और मेरे इवेंट्स डिसजॉइंट है, तो हमें पता है ये क्या बन जाता है, ये प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ए प्लस प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ बी बन जाता है। तो इसीलिए मैंने यहाँ प्लस लगाया है। तो देखो, एक सिचुएशन क्या हो सकती है, दोनों ने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर दिया, या फिर तो अब ये यूनियन है और सिंस यूनियन डिसजॉइंट है इसलिए प्लस लग गया। तो या फिर क्या हो सकता है, ए ने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर दिया एंड बी ने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं किया। सो नहीं मींस कॉम्प्लीमेंट। और लास्ट प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या हो सकती है, ए ने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं किया और बी ने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर दिया। अब वैसे एक केस ये भी बन सकता था कि दोनों ने सॉल्व नहीं किया, बट आपको ये बोला है क्वेश्चन शुड बी सॉल्व्ड, तो दोनों में से किसी एक ने सॉल्व किया होना चाहिए। अब अगर आप देखो बेटा, ऐसा तो कहीं नहीं गिवन है कि आपका जो ए और बी है वो आपस में इकट्ठे बैठ के सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, या ऐसा है कि अगर ए को क्वेश्चन आता है तो बी को नहीं आता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। तो आपको कोई क्वेश्चन में लिखेगा नहीं कि दे आर इंडिपेंडेंट इवेंट्स, सो यू शुड सी फ्रॉम योर इंट्यूशन ओनली। तो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन दोनों इकट्ठे अपने अपने तरीके से सॉल्व करेंगे। तो इफ यू सी, हमें पता है, सो दीज इवेंट्स आर इंडिपेंडेंट इवेंट्स, देयर सॉल्विंग क्वेश्चन इज इंडिपेंडेंट। और हमें पता है जब टू इवेंट्स होते हैं तो प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ए इंटरसेक्शन बी क्या हो जाती है, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ए इनटू प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ बी। तो मैंने यहां पे वो कंसेप्ट लगा दिया। ऐसी सेकंड चीज क्या बन जाएगी, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E1 इनटू प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E2 बार। और लास्ट केस क्या बन जाएगा, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E1 बार इनटू प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E2। सो इफ यू जस्ट सी, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E1 आपको गिवन है, सो प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E1 कितना है, 1/3। सो A सॉल्व्स द क्वेश्चन। प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E2 इज हाउ मच, 1/4। व्हाट इज प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E1 बार, सो E1 बार मींस कॉम्प्लीमेंट। हमें पता है कॉम्प्लीमेंट की प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या होती है, 1 माइनस प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E1। सो दिस इज व्हाट, 1 माइनस 1/3, सो दिस इज 2/3। एंड व्हाट विल बी प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ E2 बार, so 1 minus probability of E2, so this is how much, 1 minus 1/4, so this is 3/4. So you have all the probabilities now, just put back the probability in the question and get the answer, right?